Hey, your lovelies, welcome to the channel. It's Rad and we should be live now as of this moment. So, it seems that we are on the verge of a big one. Just hold on a second to get my coffee to lock and load myself with it. So, yeah, it's kind of like a big one in front of us. For what we can say, or at least for what I can say, looking at the collective reading, which you can see at the thumbnail. But I am going to show you the cards nonetheless before I jump into the collective reading for this full moon into Scorpio, which, by the way, is going to be in effect up until 30th. So it's going to be in effect up until the 30th of May, where the moon is going to enter, or rather like is going to become new into a Gemini. So with that said, let's jump right away into the collective reading. Hello everyone, hello Mattia, Angela S, hello, and Karen, of course. Karen, hello, welcome to the stream, guys. Hopefully we do have a great one tonight. Really big, or at least for what I can say in the collective reading, it should be a huge time for all of us, and we can see that into the cards. So once again, for the collective reading, the first card that is going to be the Hangman, and I really love when I do see that card coming up as the environment. And if not anything else, guys, at the very least it kind of says that you can't simply struggle against things, you know. I mean, you can if you love to kind of like suffer, okay. But literally, as the Hangman stands there, it kind of shows that, you know what, we already set up ourselves, or rather like we already have the setup, and now only thing we have to do is just wait to see what is going to happen out there. That is just very fast money, or rather like very fast interpretation of it. I'm gonna dive into the card a little bit more deep when I show you the rest of them. So the next one, that is going to be the Queen of Swords. And by the way, the first card shows the environment, like I said. So we do have the Hangman. The second one kind of shows the struggle. Literally, it kind of shows the struggle with the Queen of Swords. This card, or this position, it is what holds us back, you know, what acts against us. Then the third card is going to be the Knight of Swords. Okay, so with the Knight of Swords being there, the third position in this spread, guys, shows our behavior, or the appropriate way how we can deal with the situation. Okay, then we do have the Eight of Swords. This is the fourth card. That is the lesson to be learned, or in another way how I love to look at this position is why all these things are happening, and that's a huge one. Okay, that is a huge lesson for all of us, not just for me and you, but also for the politicians, okay, for the corporations, for everybody. And the final one is the Devil, and I was just stunned when I had that card. And I even remember Pisces Moonbeam was kind of like, hey, when are you going to make the thumbnail? And I was kind of like staring at the spread, and it's just, oh my god. So we do have the Devil being there. This position shows our gifts, okay? Or the things we can totally rely on. And it is a stunning, because the Devil there gives us the power to override everything. So in other words, if we do decide to be ignorant, okay, if we do decide, you know, we already set ourselves up, but who cares? I mean, I don't care. I want to have it the way I want to have it. That's fine. I mean, you can go forward with it, but like I said, it's only going to produce suffering. And that is because with the Devil, you can definitely use the power of it, meaning that you can do whatever you want. But everything comes with a price, and this price someone has to pay at the end of the day, and he's going to be the one who abuses or takes the advantage of the power or the Devil's power, really. So then one may ask, you know, why didn't we do have this card there if it is so disadvantageous? Actually, it isn't. It kind of shows us that, and that will come further into this reading, but it shows us a very, very positive thing. So let's jump into the interpretation of the cards. Mattia, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars, and as well Pisces Moonbeam for your 3 Canadian dollars for a Karen. Thank you guys. As usual, make sure that you do all stick around up until the end of the stream, where you're going to get your personalized reading for the full moon in Scorpio. That is for Karen. Hold on a second. Right. So let me have my sip and jumping into the interpretation. Right, so having the Hangman here at the very first position, like I said, this is going to be a period where we can't really, well, we can, but it's not advisable. We shouldn't. Let's approach the situation that way. It's kind of like we shouldn't, it's not even object, it's like resist. Okay, so we shouldn't resist the happening. And that is because this happening, literally, it's gonna set us on a direction that's it's literally it's lingering for us out there in the void, and one way or the other we are gonna get there. But these happenings, which are going to be one of the two. Okay, either a big truth that comes our way, or a huge revelation. In either way is going to be a truth. And now that I think about it, Pisces Moonbeam, have you not wrote that this is exactly the topic? And that, by the way, comes from the Eight of Swords, which is the lesson. Not exactly from the Hangman. The Hangman is the environment, meaning that once you do learn the lesson, you can try to override it, and probably you will, but you will have to pay the price for it, like I said. And the price for most cases is going to be more than you actually know. But what I'm trying to say here, guys, it is that, you know, when, for example, I don't know, when, for example, you're trying to develop a business work and this business work isn't happening, it's kind of like you need to open your eyes for the truth that either right now it's not its time, or you lack a preparation, okay, or something else, and it's just you gotta leave it for the moment. And we are entering into the second manifestation of the Hangman, which is the different perspective or the different view. You may see a friend in a different way, you may see your job in a different way, you may see your life in a different way through the revelation or through the truth that is gonna come your way. Our way. And that's why it's huge for the world, not just only for us as a you know, I don't want to say a big word, but for the hierarchy, for the top of the hierarchy, we are mere peasants, aren't we? So this isn't gonna affect only us, the peasants, but it's gonna affect as well them, and anyone who does not obey by the truth itself. It's kind of like it's gonna pay the price once again. By the way, Taco and Karen, thank you so much, guys, for your super chat support. Taco with $22 as usual. Thank you, man. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end of the stream, where you're gonna get your personalized reading. And for a Pisces Moonbeam, I already have her question over here. Thank you, guys. Right, so back to it. Very important here, like I said, it is when things are about to start developing, okay, don't interfere. And if things does not want to start developing, do not try to push them. And we are getting to the second two cards of the spread, okay? The third one of which is very, very important. We do have the Knights of Swords. The second one, it kind of like touches on the struggle. It is where, you know, you kind of like have you want to have it your way, and the further the time passes, the more you're going to start losing really a reason why you want to have it that way. And at the end of the day, only stubbornness is gonna keep you doing it that way or going into that direction. It's say you have a really good job offer, but for some reason you are mad at, I don't know, the person that is offering you that job, and you don't want to take it just because you are mad at this person. And the more and more the time passes, you will see less and less reason to be that way. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that you will get the job, should that be your case. Could be the same thing about a personal relationships, you know, or a friendships, and so on and so forth. So the Queen of Swords here, it is the struggle, it is the indomitable push into a direction that just simply doesn't want to happen. And what's if you keep up in this narrative, what happens is that it's not like you're gonna miss your chance, it's just you're gonna delay it. It's a waste of time, literally a waste of time. The more important card, though, it is the Knight of Swords, which is what kind of attitude, or rather like the best approach to the situation. So the Knight of Swords, it's when you understand, all right? It is when we understand that what we do is either right or wrong. And when we do understand it, because we all are going to, and here is the very fine moment of either we accept it or we are to deny it. Now, should we accept it, we're gonna learn to love it, and then starting into this direction, whether taking the job, whether transforming friendship into a loving relationship, whether starting a business, whether, you know, mending interactions or relationship with your family, whatever it is, right? It will feel like part of us, of our peasant life, really. But the lesson, which is, like I said, it's a huge. And I'm gonna guys tell you the strophe for the card, and I'm gonna keep it silent there. Now the strophe for the card says, if the truth, guys, makes you free, then you tell me what the denial of it makes you. That is literally the lesson that we are to learn. So many people, it's just many people will realize, including me, including you, whoever you are, will realize that certain things we do, or the entirety of our lives, we do things wrong, and that's why the life isn't moving forward. And so we need that different perspective upon our job, friendships, everything. And it is where the truth clashes with the fiction, or with the fallacy, with the real, with the unreal. And whether we accept the real and move forward, or we try to cling to the unreal and remain stuck, although we are not going to be able to remain stuck, because one way or the other, it's at the end we are going to be forced to take the real, or the reality. And yeah, it's just the whole thing, the whole transit, the whole full moon is all about we doing it as painless as possible. What did I miss from the chat? Okay, so Taco, you are well said then. I see. Why are you in a hospital? Oh my god. Alright then, guys, that is the collective reading, and now I'm gonna move to the 12 star signs readings. But before I do so, just to explain to anyone who is new, and just to repeat myself, I guess, it is how the stream is gonna run, and what you can expect watching the stream. So there are going to be 12 readings, each for each star sign, so starting from Aries, ending up with Pisces as per usual. And also 3 people of you are going to get a free reading from me. How this is going to happen? Well, after Cancer, after Scorpio, and after Pisces, I am going to announce a break. And within this break, you get to ask your questions here into the comments down below. And I'm going to pick one question from the comments or from the questions in the comments, and I'm going to perform a totally professional reading on it. So this isn't going to be just one card draw, all right? It's going to be a full spread. Of course, anyone who supports the channel and the stream through Super Chat is going to get a reading at the end of the live stream. That's given. And finally, if you do wish a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you will see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. So with that said, let me shuffle and move forward with Aries. Lori, thank you. Yeah, I'm quite well. Even I could say I'm happy. I don't know why though. It's so weird. But I feel happy. Yeah, Anna, it can, but only if people listen. All right, it's only if people are not ignorant. They are not in denial. Oh my God, hold on. Okay, Karen, thank you for your 15 US dollars. I'm gonna try to answer this question. It's very tricky though. It's very tricky because it does involve a choice from somebody to be made, and as you know, tarot does not take choices for anyone. So let me rephrase it here. Is the landlord going to address the issue? Okay. Right. Yeah, man, I mean, I'm so sorry to hear that. Terrible. And you had some kind of a question as well. The best payment. Okay. I know what you mean. I very well know what you mean. Am I going to get Oxy? All right. I'm sorry I missed your question. It's just I got carried away, but now I went back to it and all right. All right then. Aries, first one for you guys. We do have Temperance, followed by the second card of the Six of Cups. And this one here, by the way, tells us that your transit, the next couple of weeks are no joke for you, or at least they shouldn't be. I mean, you have to take things very, very seriously. And that is going to be the King of Cups. So, followed by the Ten of Wands. And the final one for you, Aries, that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles. It's a pretty easy read, guys. Next couple of weeks, some kind of a very important offer is going to come your way. And literally, you should not pass on it. It's, although it's going to seem very demanding, probably should be the word. It is like a lot will be asked from it, all right? A lot will be asked from you, that is, or it is gonna ask a lot of things from you. Although at the start it's gonna feel very overwhelming. It's even at some points you may kind of like be, oh my god, how I'm gonna find even time for it, right? Where do I fit that thing? Even if you do see it as appealing as it is, because it's way more appealing than it looks like, at least initially. But even if you do see it for what it is, you may kind of like, at least at the start, find it kind of difficult to fit it in with all the responsibilities you already have undertaken. And so it will be kind of like a couple of weeks where probably you are going to try to juggle here and there, right? You will try to readjust things. Reshuffle probably should be the word that I should use here. But other than that, the full moon into Scorpio is gonna bring you settlement, like how can I explain that? Like, you know, you have a bunch of things to do, right? You have few meetings to exert today with a bunch of other activities and so on and so forth, and you still feel quite overwhelmed. And so the full moon is gonna bring you the awareness of worth, and thus the readjustment of you know, giving more priority to what is worth more and less priority to what is worth less. But that doesn't mean that you are going to give less attention than needed to what has a less priority and more attention to what has a bigger priority. It is just the level of devotion is going to be kind of different that you are going to put in, because at the end of the day we all have a finite energy, right? I mean, you can't put 100 into everything, because you are going to have nothing left at the end. You're going to put 100 into the first one and you will have nothing left for the second one, right? So you will basically gonna find the appropriate measures and the appropriate responses for all the situations that you're gonna face throughout the lunar cycle here, for what the cards are showing. But like I said, it's very, very important, guys, to take things very, very seriously, especially if we're talking about jobs, finding jobs, and going for for example, promotions, or going for just executing your job. Your attitude should be entirely professional. Okay, you're not there to make friends, you are there to make money. For that reason, it will be quite unadvisable for you to jump into conflicts with colleagues. It will be quite unadvisable to argue whenever, you know, the opinion of this and that does not correlate with you. You just shove it off. I mean, you don't have to take it. Just, how can I put it into words? Honor it. Okay, show respect that this person has some kind of an opinion. It doesn't have to be with your opinion, and just move on. It's as simple as that. But other than that, all that comes here, it is this the cherry of the cake for you, Aries. One more time, is this offer which is coming your way. Do not miss it, guys. But it will be, like I said, rather quite demanding. Okay, it will demand attention, it will demand involvement, it will demand a lot from you. All right, so moving next, we do have Taurus. Oh, what is the only thing that takes the edge off? The ganja? the Ganya. Is that what takes the edge off? All right, Taurus, first one that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles for you, followed by the second card of the World. Moving on, next we do have the Nine of Wands, followed by the fourth card of the Three of Cups, and the final one that is going to be the Three of Wands, the nicotine. How is this taking the edge off? I mean, so fairly peaceful lunar transit for Taurus. That doesn't mean that the lunar transit is going to be like meh, okay? Actually, for you, the lunar transit is going to be more of a fixing things into the right, or setting things into the right track, so to speak. So the environment into your transit, guys, Seven of Pentacles, that is when you do realize, you know, what's, how can I put it into words? You do come up to realization how much to invest into certain stuff. So you kind of like regain the balance into the giving and taking, whether we're talking about your job or whether we are talking about your relationship. For example, if into your relationship you are treated really, really nicely, just for example, saying that card or this lunar cycle is going to make you to have the insight that you have to give more, reciprocal, okay? Should, however, let's say your job treats you like a garbage, then it seems that, you know, this insight is going to make you give less to the job so you can equal the balance. It's kind of like reaching an equilibrium for Taurus, moving on forward, and that, by the way, for what we have the World card into the second position here, that, by the way, is going to be a savior. It seems that it's gonna save a situation for you which is deteriorating. It's falling apart, let's put it that way. And it's very important throughout the next couple of weeks, Taurus, to have expectations. That is so important, guys, because the Three of Wands that we do have at the end, which is the gift for you, that is where all of your expectations fulfilled, and therefore the whole environment will allow you to step on very solid patterns, established foundations, okay? And from there, it's going to give you the luxury to decide what is going to be your next freaking challenge, okay? The only thing that you have to really be careful of, it's none. I mean, there isn't anything that you should be careful of. In fact, no, that's incorrect. The only thing for you to be that you should be careful of is a premature rendering of a verdict. What I mean is that prematurely saying that you are done with this, okay, or that you don't want to do this, and so on and so forth. It's very, very important to experiment or to try out, at least to see, is it really worth it, and how much does it worth? And finally, what I like to say about Taurus here, by the look of these cards, it is that, especially for you who are single, that is for you who are single, guys, it's kind of time for you to start going out, really. And even if you can't, for example, you are sick or anything like that, just try some kind of a dating apps. That comes from the Nine of Wands here, right? This is the attitude, and one of your attitudes should be relating with the type of individuals that you physically like. We're talking about chemistry here. It's far from love, okay, but love starts with chemistry, and love, it's nothing but a chemistry. So that is for Taurus. And now moving next, we do have Gemini. Yeah, like 14 days a week. Like 14 days a week. I mean, Angela, how would you even be able to put up with that? Don't you need a break? Gemini, first one, that is going to be the Five of Wands, guys. Followed by the second card of the Six of a Swords. Moving on, next we do have Seven of Wands. Followed by the fourth one, which stands as the Nine of Cups. And a final one for Gemini, we do have the Knight of Wands. What is door dashing? It's kind of like skipping things. If that's the case, I do support you in that. Okay, I just do, because I have done it many times. It's just sometimes, you know, you kind of need to get out. It's you can't stand into your All right, so for Gemini, it's going to be a rather quite interesting couple of weeks here, or the moon is going to bring you very interesting experiences, guys. The thing it is that you would never know how things are going to turn out. You need to know that the lunar readings, they're very spiritual readings, because that's what the lunar transit is all about. So you will never know how things are really going to turn out at the end, okay? And that's why it's going to be imperative into the next couple of weeks not to presume anything. Just to give you an example of it, say you start dating somebody, right? Let's say from tomorrow you bump up in Tinder with somebody, or rather like you match in Tinder with somebody, and you go out and, you know, you kind of like start liking each other, but on the next day you kind of get different attitude, okay? So just don't presume that everything is over, because you are not gonna know everything about what causes such a behavior. So things in the next couple of weeks for you, what I'm trying to say, they're gonna be like a roller coaster, okay? One day you're gonna have peak of experiences, and the other day you're gonna have downs of experiences. However, this roller coaster that you're gonna be a passenger of is going to present you with very surprising events, literally events which will allow you to make a sudden turnaround. Now, these turnarounds most likely are going to take place into the situations which you are finding yourself worse at. Okay, so say your marriage is on the rock, all right, and you will have there a situation that will allow you to make that turnaround. It will allow you to make that reversal, literally, and save the day, transform the failure into actually a success, so to speak. And it's important here, very similar to Taurus, by the way, but with a different card. We do have the Six of Swords. So it's very important to stick with what you already know and to stick with what you already have. If the world was a premature endings, here you do have them on so-called steroids, because with the world it's more understandable. It's kind of like you feel, you know, that there is nothing into it right now, unless you kind of like put your mind into it. While here with you, Gemini, it will be more of a anger, okay? It will be more of a, I don't know how to call it in English, really, going out of your way. It's kind of like going even against yourself. I mean, you clearly gonna see that things are not beyond salvation, and yet you may decide to walk away. which should not be literally the attitude, but instead the attitude should be of the Seven of Wands. And what does this is a literal interpretation of the card. Just hold on a second. I have the reader weight here. Hold on. It's gonna be at the end, isn't it? No, here it is. All right, so we have the reader weight. What does the guy does? All right, what does the guy do? It protects, right? It protects things he has. It protects his position, whether that position it is within his marriage, within his job, everywhere. It protects it from what? Exterior influences. Okay, very important. So how these exterior influences may appear to you? Well, these exterior influences usually come in form of gossips, rumors, fallacies, untruthful statements, okay, about you. Let's give an example. Just hold on. Let's give an example if that happens into your relationship. You may start hearing, for example, that you are unfaithful to your partner while you are completely faithful to your partner. And so what you need to do here? Well, challenge it immediately. Or you may hear a rumor that is addressing you that you slack at work, but you actually work extra hours. What you do, you gotta challenge that rumor immediately. That is how literally the Seven of Wands works. And through these challenges, Gemini, you will be able to make that savior, or rather like this salvation, this salvaging, reprimandation. How do you call it? So yeah, and actually things you have scratched that you as a losses actually may end up being gains. In fact, all of them can end up being gains by the look of it. And it involves people, okay? Sadly it involves people. That comes from the, oh no, I mistook, well, it should involve people as well, but it may not, okay? So I just mistook the card. It's the Nine of Cups, the fourth one. So it literally, the card shows that your happiness is on the line here. It's you not taking those chances you will have. It's where you are giving away your happiness. You totally don't have to do that. And what pains me by the look of the reading is that you have it at the tip of your fingers. Because the lesson that you need to learn is that, you know, reaching a destination, it's not enough. For example, reaching the position at work, that's not enough, guys. I mean, you have to do something to sustain it, because tomorrow someone may knock you off that position, right? So that's what you need to learn. You know, for example, you won the heart of somebody, that's great, okay? So you can end up in relationship, but you can't take that person for granted, can you? I mean, you have to do something to maintain the happiness within this relationship, interaction, you name it. And that's literally how the full moon is gonna play out for you, Gemini. It's just, to me, that is the 80th chance you will have. Hello, Nonon. Well, Anna, going without expectations, that's the best way to go into something, because that way at least you ain't gonna end up disappointed at the end of the day. But no, Gemini can't afford to have expectations. Maybe so. All right, so we are coming up to Cancer. we have the Star. Is Cancer opposite? No, the opposite is Taurus. Followed by Justice. Moving on, next we do have the King of Pentacles. Followed by the Ace of Cups. And finally, we do have the Three of Pentacles. It's not even personal changes, Pisces Moonbeam. It's the initiative, right? It's kind of like, do something, you know. Damn, man. I mean, do something. That is literally how it falls to Gemini. And that's why I said it's the 80th chance they will have. What am I? I'm Scorpio, but I was curious if that is opposite to Scorpio, but no, Taurus is opposite to Scorpio, because you know the opposite one really gets the if you do have a reading, what I have seen is that the opposite one kind of gets meh. If this one it's a good one, then the opposite one is gonna get ah. But this one it's really good one. I mean, it's really good one. Let me have a sip first. All right. So how would somebody else would say it? A dream is coming true, isn't it? Oh yeah, it is gonna play out that way pretty much. But they're about to have their solar return. Oh my god. Right, so for a Cancer, yeah, you can interpret this this reading as a dream come true. However, the dream part comes in your lesson, okay, with the Ace of Cups. Because the dream through the Star, it is the dream of mind. However, the dream of the dream of the Ace of Cups, it's the dream of the heart. And you have them kind of like pretty well aligned here, don't you? So you will, what is going to be your environment? Well, the environment, when it comes to your dream, whether your dream is about a very successful job, right? Whether your dream is to be left in peace, whether your dream is to find the real love, I don't know, I mean, your soulmate, whatever. Okay, whatever your dream is, whenever a person has a dream, it has some kind of ideals, right? I mean, you want that dream, but you want to happen, you want it to happen in a certain way, and those ideals little by little are gonna start manifesting themselves. I'm curious, is it gonna be into something new? I don't think so. Do you know why? It's because of the King of Pentacles, okay? And that is your attitude. So it's not going to be into something new. It's more like a developing, because you already, because of the environment, you already have it. But not just only because of the environment. Also, it is because the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles invests into what he has or what he meets. But no, I mean, it could be as well that you can meet it, but then it's going to be so rapidly developing, which is so unnatural to the Star card. All right, so let's classify it that way. It's more likely this dream to pop up from a already developing development endeavor, right? From already developing endeavor you do have into you. But the bottom line here, Cancer, it is that within the next couple of weeks, things are going to become more and more beautiful for you in one or another situation. It could be as well about your entire life. Let me tell you what I am talking about here, because this is a general reading. It could relate to your career, right? And it could relate to your love life. So I don't know if that's fortunate or unfortunate to you, but little by little in the next couple of weeks, it seems that you are gonna start falling in love. I don't know if it is fortunate or unfortunate for you guys, but in the next couple of weeks, little by little, you are gonna start moving forward into a career development, especially if you don't have a job. Okay, that is because with the star card, the period where it was arid, where it was dry, it's over. And now, little by little, the ideal jobs are start popping up here and there, and you get to kind of like choose. So, but you do have two major points that you have to kind of like handle, and those major points are the Justice, which is the negative card, right? It is what's kind of stands against you, and then it is the Lesson, which is the Ace of Cups. So what is justice? Well, in the material world, justice it is when you take, can I put it into words? You take everything like a job, all right? You take everything like it has to be in a certain frame. You take everything that it needs to have. It's not even a value. I don't know how to put it into words. It needs to make, let's put it that way, it needs to make sense. Oh, guess what? Dreams doesn't make any sense, does they? I mean, if it's not gonna be called a dream if it makes sense, it's called a goal if it makes sense, right? So that's why, I mean, you have to kind of like expand your frame of acceptability, let's put it that way. That is if you want, okay? If you don't want to, it's gonna be harder on you. I mean, it's your call. And then you have a lesson that you need to learn of the Ace of Cups. So this lesson needs to ask you, or rather like you need to ask yourself, what is this that you either already have or you are about to meet? If you don't have it right now, then you are about to meet it. What is this which makes you which makes your reality transcending? Okay, what makes you, I believe the word is glin, right? What makes you glin when you kind of like come up in touch with it? What makes you feel, I don't know even how to describe it. I don't know even how to describe it. It's like when you are in touch with it, it's kind of like the problems you have, they start to kind of like fade little by little. What's glin? It's kind of like a smile, but it is a smile with, I don't know if the word is glin, all right? Oh, it's a grin. Yeah, it's a grin. I'm sorry, guys. It's a grin. Exactly. Thank you, Brian. It's grin. Yeah. It's not a glin, it's a grin. Oh my God. It's a smile with a satisfaction, right? It's when you, oh my God, it's finally. So, yeah, what makes you kind of like, whenever you are in touch with it, you kind of like the concerns you have, the worries. Yeah, it's like a smile, but it is not just a smile. So concerns, worries you have, they kind of like, you stop thinking about them, or they are starting to fade. They look more bearable. Well, that is where the source to your dream is. That is what you need to learn. Or in other words, how it could be said is that you need to learn to kind of like drink from whatever happiness it's gifted to you. Thank you, Brian. or Brian. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. It's kind of like it's a trend tonight. And then finally, it is your gift. Well, thank you, Angela. Finally, it is your gift of the Three of Pentacles. And Three of Pentacles, it's I don't believe that you do even need that gift, Cancer, but that is the gift of getting along. Okay, getting along with everybody. It is like, even with your biggest enemy, you will be able to have a constructive conversation. So it's a great time within the next couple of weeks, if nothing else, you know, to settle some disputes, disagreements, etc., etc. But also your gift, it's a support. So look around as well where you get support from, or even that support may come in a form of constructive criticism, but it needs to be constructive criticism. Right, so that is for Cancer, and now we are moving to the first break, guys. Within this break, one of you is going to get a free reading, and all that you gotta do to get that free reading is just input a question into the comments down below that you do wish tarot to be read on that question. And after about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Anyone who supports the channel through super chat is going to get a reading at the end of it regardless. And finally, if you do wish personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you're going to find in the description down below, and there you're going to find a full list of my services and as well their pricing. Well, that would do. I mean, I'm gonna butcher your name, am I not? Jatilis? 1104. Super chat is like it's like a donation. You can see that $sign on the bottom of your chat, and you support the stream and the channel financially, and you get a reading at the end of it as a let's call it energy exchange. You're welcome. Anna, what is Krav Maga lessons? What is this? And I'm sorry for my ignorance. Oh, we just finished Cancer Tackle, and now we are on the break. Russian martial arts. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 US. Thank you, Anna. You also make sure that you do stick around up until the end. Yeah, they all are self-defense, but really the only one that is about self-defense, it's Aikido. Oh. And the most violent one, it's I believe it's boxing, I believe. All right, so let's pick a question. Actually, we did have only a couple of them. All right, so what message Tarot can give me? Tylus 1104 asks. And let's check it out. All right, those are your cards we have. That is going to be the Five of Swords, catalyzed from one side with the Nine of Pentacles, and from the other side, that is going to be the High Priestess. Right, so these two here form a active neutrals, and these two here, they do form a active enemies. So the most important card we do have here, that is the High Priestess. Okay, that is the most important card. And the message is pretty clear. Be very careful whom do you trust. Okay, the answers that you do seek, whether about your love life, whether about your job, can only be found through silence, meaning that you have to withdraw from all of it. Meditate if you have to, okay, deliberate if you have to, etc., etc., but don't seek guidance until you reach at least a certain narrative. And when I say don't search for guidance, like don't reach out for guidance from, for example, tarot readers, astrologers, friends, etc., etc. I mean, you have to kind of like settle it yourself. I don't know how to put it into words. You need to be resigned by the answer, if that makes sense. And that is your answer. That is your message. But truly be very careful whom you are putting your trust at, because in extreme cases, you may end up being disappointed and even humiliated at some point. So big choices that you have to make, okay, and sensitive information, better for now, keep it for yourself. I'm glad. I'm glad that that's the case. Alright guys, give me a couple of minutes. Kind of like gather up my thoughts. And we're gonna move forward. Forward with Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Hey, choo down. That's so cute. Thank you, Angela. Oh, Elizabeth, you are not the only one. I don't know, but maybe I'm the only one who doesn't feel it, and it doesn't make any sense because I am a very strong Scorpio, and when I say strong, I do have a lot in Scorpio, okay? And it doesn't make any sense not feeling it unless it is my type of energy, and so we are one, okay? Me and the energy, we are just one. I don't know, maybe Pisces Moonbeam can really answer that question. Thank you, guys. You're so nice. Oh, I'm gonna butcher your name again, but Jatalis 1104, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars. Thank you. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, because regardless that I have answered your question here in the free reading, you are gonna get a reading for the full moon in Scorpio at the end of the stream. I do have Aquarius ascendant. That's so true. Well, no, you're not the only one that is doing that. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, so Leo, first one, we do have the Two of Swords for you guys, followed by the Queen of Wands. That is not a good start. Okay, it's not a good start. Followed by the Seven of Swords. Oh my God. Moving next, that is going to be the Two of Wands. And the final card for you, we have the Empress. It's all scream one thing, okay? You are on a verge of making a wrong choice, not because you don't know what you're doing, but it is because you are doing it way too early, okay? Way too early. I mean, what's the rush? Okay, what's the rush? Whether you are waging the choices, should you go in a relationship or no, whether you are waging the choices, should I quit my job or not, whether you are waging the choices, what should I do for a living, whatever it is, I don't think that this full moon, it's the moment where you have to make your choice, okay? And that comes from these two cards. Actually, it comes from all of the cards, but the most prominent, you can see it here in the Two of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands speaks only one thing: your cockiness. Okay, I mean the impression that you have it in the back. Not even that; it's more like the sheer will to prevail now. And even it gives you a beguiling feeling that you have a full grasp and understanding in the situation. But what you do not see is the environment of the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords literally tells us that there are more to it, that it is yet to happen. And so if you do rush your decision to take the job, to sever the relationship, whatever choice you are to make, either way is going to be incorrect. Okay, either way. Because when this new information or circumstances show up, you will see that you could have done it better. And even if at the end of the day, you do end up, being in a okay-ish position, still you will feel regretful about it because you could have done it better. It's as simple as that. And all of the cards are literally screaming about it. I mean, we do have the Seven of Swords into the third position, which pretty much tells us that you will need to start thinking, or rather like, can I put it into words, dwelling into your righteousness. Because your righteousness itself is going to push you away of making the choice, but your ego and cockiness is gonna tell you, no man, I mean, you have it, I mean, you gotta do it now. Okay. And also the Seven of Swords, it's a warning telling, because many people interpret Seven of Swords like, you know, you being lied, but you being lied, actually it is when you lie yourself. Because for example, if someone cheats on you, you see the red flags long before you actually see the truth. And not in choosing not to pay attention to these red flags, it is where you lie to yourself. So it all starts with lying to yourself and choosing not to see things, you know, choosing to ignore things. It's not going to be that dramatic here, okay, but it's just I'm trying to make a point. So yeah, there is a very big chance you to lie to yourself into the next few weeks. So what do you do in the next few weeks, or rather like in the next couple of weeks? You wait, okay? You wait, and the right direction, the right choice is going to become obvious to you. It's going to be the only one that is left. Think of it that way. Say you have 3 people to date with, okay, and you just don't know which one you should go with forward and make a relationship, but you really want a relationship, and you just kind of like do it randomly, throw a dice or whatever, and you pick, or you just, and you pick one of them, or you just do it based on your current understanding of them. You don't wait long enough to actually get to know these 3 people better. And you make that premature choice, and later on you do kind of like see that someone else was actually a better choice, or this one that you made, it was a poor choice. And so yeah, it's important that you don't rush yourself in the next few weeks, because the insight is going to go through development. We do have the Two of Wands here into the second position, and that shows that you are not as far as you can go before you move to the next level. You have accomplished satisfying results, whether in your job, whether in your social life, you know, into personal life, whatever. You have accomplished, like I said, or like you have reached a satisfying accomplishments, but they are not enough. They are not enough to establish pattern, not yet. You need to keep up with them a little bit longer. You need to keep up developing these interactions. It's not even a relationship yet. These interactions, these patterns, or rather like attempts to establish patterns before you actually jump to the next level. Simple as that. Your gift, your gift is the ability to make a long-term plan, but that long-term plan can only be made when you have a full view, sight, grasp on the situation, which is going to come within the next couple of weeks. Just don't rush your choice in the next few days. You may be right, Jessica. Guys, that you are saying that you are crying. I haven't cried. I don't know how long it was. Well, tears of joy, I would take that any day. I would take that any day. That isn't considering crying, is it? Alright then, Virgo. First one for you guys, we do have the Five of Cups. followed by the second card of the Four of Cups. Moving on next, that is going to be the Chariot. Then the fourth card, we have the Page of Pentacles. And the final card for you, that is going to be the Empress. So these 5 cards. Yeah, it is. It is, Angela. That's why I'm trying to laugh as much as I can. And right now, in the Bulgarian political scene, it's actually a freaking circus. So I'm laughing every day watching them. It's real circus. It's kind of like hilarious at some points. I haven't cried such a tears none like ever. So maybe I don't know what joy is when you think about it. All right, back to Virgo. A very emotional transit for you guys. We can see that in the first 3 cards. Okay, those 3 cards, and it's a very typical situation. It's a typical situation, and I don't know. Do we have Virgo here? Just so I can relate it with something. Do we have Virgo? All right, I guess we don't. Oh, okay. So we do have Virgo. All right. So guys, tell me, do you have currently any regrets? Do you regret about something? Kind of like, are you in a situation where a situation is you are disappointed of it? Are you in such a situation? How many of you are in such a situation that you are disappointed of it? It's kind of, it's bearable, but it's, oh my god, it could have been so much better. So we do have such a situation. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 2 yes, 3 yeses, 4 yeses. All right. So I take it that the message. I take it that the message is, yeah, it's kind of is the right answer, because it's kind of disappointing situation, but not entirely. That's the key. Okay. It's kind of a disappointing, and the message that we do have for you, Virgo, okay, is that you can fix it. I mean, it's gonna take a colossal effort, okay, by the look of the cards, but you can fix it. It's just you have to look past it. That's the important part. You gotta understand that these disappointments you are experiencing right now, whether for your love life, okay, whether for your job, these disappointments, they are a temporary disappointments. And even if we go even further into more extreme cases, losses, okay, because after the disappointments, the next step, it's kind of losses, right? So even if you have experienced any losses recently, temporary, or rather like partial, I'm sorry. So the disappointments are temporary, the losses are partial, you can regain all of it, but it's going to take efforts. And these efforts are described by the Chariot, okay? So the Chariot is when you do or thou triumph against all odds. And that happens only when thou clings to thy strength, thy will, and as well thy determination and thy pride as well. So you have to be very proud of where you are, regardless how the situation is. You gotta start believing that you deserve success. Okay, you do deserve it, whether it's success into your job or into your love life, and just push forward. And the path in front of you, it's going to be revealed. Now, in some cases, you may find it very difficult, though, to establish determination. And this is where actually the lesson for you comes from, or come for. And that is the lesson of the Page of Pentacles. And it is the lesson of devotion. You have devoted resources into it. Whether it is you have devoted resources into your job, into your love life, okay, into your friendship. You have devoted resources. Why? Well, because you saw it worth it. Well, prove that it's worth it. That is the lesson you need to learn. And you shouldn't give up. It's just that is literally, you should not give up of what you it's not even what you want, it's more of what makes you really. That is the full moon. So you will become way more determined, you will become way more devout, you will become way more willful, rather, like with that sheer will to prevail no matter what, and you will prevail at the end of the day. And the biggest prize for you, Virgo, is going to be, now many people interpret the star card as dream come true, but it doesn't feel like it. Do you know which card feels exactly as a dream come true? That is the Cancer card. It is the Chariot. Okay, because the result is all the same. I mean, you reach your goal, but with the star card, that goal comes kind of like on its own accord, because you do have a clear path to it. You don't have any plights. While with the Chariot, you really have to work, and I mean really have to work for it. And you tell me, which one feels better? The one that you know that you fought with teeth and nails, and you struggled and you suffered and you sacrificed, and you kind of like you basically earned it, or the one that it feels more like a gift? At least to me, it would, the one that I feel like I earned it is going to be the real dream come true. And that's literally your reward at the end. Janile, thank you, or Janile, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Let me put you into the list. Are you gonna save 1,500 for your SUV? All right. I will put you into the list. Thank you, Jessica. Still win, yeah. What do you mean? I mean, donate? Well, you can do it either through PayPal or through Super Chat, if that's what you mean. All right, moving next, we do have Libra. Thank you. And you have to kind of like that transcribe your name, Jatilis. Oh my god, I feel so awkward pronouncing it. I believe that I'm butchering it entirely. Libra, first one for you guys, we do have the High Priestess, followed by the second card of the Hermit. Moving on, next we do have the Hangman. Oh my god, that is going to be a Libra transit. Then the Chariot. And finally, we do have the Knights of Wands. Well, I believe, I never done it myself as well, but I believe when you click on the dollar sign on the bottom of your chart, it should lead you through steps. Okay, it shouldn't be that hard. So huge one for Libra, obviously. For Libra, obviously. And you will find your strength, guys. I mean, you will find your strength. Those cards are very typical for people who are at the end of the road, but not like at the end of the line, if you know what I mean. So imagine that, you know, you are, you want to be somewhere, whether you want to be at the top of a hill, whether you want to be at the tip of the world, and so on and so forth. You just want to be something, you want to be somewhere, you want to be significant for someone else, or to feel significant for the world, whatever it is, okay? And you are at the end of the road to get there. If your happiness lies in, say, Los Angeles, but you are in New York and you have to drive there, well, you are in this, with this full moon, you are seeing the sign, you are seeing the plaque where you can read Los Angeles, welcome to Los Angeles, or whatever it's said there. Okay, that's literally what we have here. And it's a very humble transit for you as well, because according to it, I mean, you have done your part. You struggled through the whole thing, and now all that you have to do is just put it on inertia, and it will work out. Okay, it will work out. Now, there is also a very big message for everyone who kind of feels themselves lost. People who are thinking, am I on the right path with myself? I mean, have I chose the right thing for me? Have I done the right thing? Okay. And the message comes from the Hermit into the second position, which literally takes place from tomorrow moving forward. We are making the reading now. And the Hermit into the second position pretty much states, not that this is the Hangman, I'm sorry. So we do have the Hermit. So the Hermit into the second position, it kind of states that anything that it is to seem significant or substantial, that it is to happen in the next couple of weeks, it's a distraction. You already have developed to its extent, to its maximum, what is substantial to you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you literally, you gotta stick with what you already have, and even if that means counting your blessings, it is counting your blessings. And also the cards are showing that, yeah, I mean, you did your part, you did the best you could, which is kind of enough. It's even more than enough here. And now you just have to be trustful to the universe that things are going to work out. They are going to work out. These cards, I don't want to say, yeah, Sam, that's also a way how you can say it, but I don't want to say here a big word. But if you know, you come to a reading and you hope that you're going to be said that, you know, you're going to meet your soulmate one day, or you're going to find your purpose in your career, this is as best as it can get. That is literally as best as it can get, because these cards, I mean, the only better combo it is if we do had the Moon card here. Okay, the Moon card would have been slightly better, but it would not change the outcome. It is just the Moon card gives you more, how can I put it into words, a positive outlook, should I say, where you are more trusty of the universe that is gonna get you where you're supposed to be. While with the Hangman, it's more like, you know, you feel tension and it's like things are not moving anywhere, but they're actually moving, but you're not seeing that they're moving, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's just like I said, if you would have come for a reading and you asked, you know, am I ever gonna find my soulmate? That is as best as it can get, guys. Am I ever gonna find my purpose? It is as best as it can get, and it's coming in the next couple of weeks for you. Hopefully I ain't gonna miss it. You ain't gonna miss it. Yeah, it connects to it. Other than that, it seems that you will rejoice. You will become way more joyful than before, and don't be surprised, okay, if at some point in the next few weeks you kind of like feel like you need a party, all right, like you need to go out and really vent it all off. Yeah, thank you, Angela. Hitting the like button helps a lot. It really helps a lot. And Jessica, thank you for your 7 Canadian. Thank you, Jessica. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get a reading for the full moon in Scorpio. How is going to affect you personally. All right. I know that this sounds selfish, okay, I know, but it's just I can't help it. But please, guys, cross fingers, okay? Cross fingers. I want to trump Virgo, not Virgo. I mean, I want to trump Libra. I want to trump Cancer, because Cancer had a really good one as well. In fact, if I were to choose, should I be Libra or Cancer, I would prefer the Cancer one. That is because the Cancer one, it's more, how can I put it into words? It's more easygoing, okay? But the results all the same. I don't, thank you, Karen, for your $3 US, but I don't understand the question. What do you mean with that? Do you get I won't miss it as a Libra sun? Oh, you mean, oh my God, yeah. Well, Karen, that depends on your situation. I cannot check it with the cards. So if you can, it depends on your choices. So if you can change your question, that would be great. We have the Four of Pentacles as the first one. Kind of okayish, very average. Start with the King of Swords. With the Four of Swords. With the Nine of Cups. With the Eight of Cups. Ooh. Chilly. Chilly is how I can describe it. Really chilly. But not for us. Maybe for those that are around us. So, how do I approach that? It's about honesty, really. Yeah, it's chilly. It chills, Brie. Really chills. Because that's how it's this is how it stands, guys. At some point in the next couple of weeks, we will be at a very important moment which our, I would say, future really hangs into. And it doesn't have to be jeopardized. It could be a moment where we get to improve our future with it. Okay. And in this moment, we can really become our true dark nature. It's like this Scorpio that it is cunning, which is very vengeful, and kind of like very surreptitious, nefarious even. Or we can take it easy and really talk about it. It's all about what kind of a Scorpio we are. And that's why I said that it's going to be chilly, because it also depends with what kind of a people we are talking, we are going to talk with, or I am talking about. Luckily for me, I don't think I have any people that I'm dealing with that, can force me into such a state. Some of you may have, though. But again, remember here what is at stake. It's our future, and even more than our future, our fullness of life, the enjoyment we it's not even a happiness, it's the enjoyment we feel from life. And that is where the lesson comes from. Are we ready to kind of like do what it takes, even if that means we have to kind of like change in a certain way, so we can sustain not just only happiness and fullness of life, but also we kind of like step into a phase of our life, which phase kind of secures the life itself and grants stability to it. And the key to it is selflessness. That's truly the key to it. It comes from these two cards, okay? Especially from the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, it's a behavior where you do things because they serve a purpose. Okay, for example, you form a partnership, but you don't form a partnership because you want to work with that person. You form a partnership because that person has a purpose in your development, and as soon as they serve the purpose, it's kind of like it's whatever, I mean, you are willing to kind of like cut them off, or you can be willing to cut them off. So that's selfishness. No, you have to go about with selflessness, where you do it for the sake of the person itself, or for the sake of the job itself, and so on and so forth. And should you do it that way, that of course, for as much as I don't like to say it, it will force us to change. By the way, that comes into our gift here of the Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups, it is where you do the gift will allow us to understand that the way we are, it's okay, but it is not exactly ideal. However, should we move toward the future, and moving toward the future, it does require movement, isn't it? So should we make certain efforts? It's not even gonna feel like an effort, but anyway, should we do something to kind of like improve, then the future holds a much brighter perspective upon a thing. So we are already stepping on it, a thing with the Four of Pentacles, that it is uncertain. We don't know how it could go either way, but with this move toward the future, we are going to secure its certain future. A pivotal moment for Scorpio, and it's a moment where it will be measured how much we do deserve, whatever it is, whether a job, whether money, for example, loyalty, etc., etc. And that is literally for the Scorpio reading. Sandy, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Thank you, Sandy. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where I'm going to pull cards to your inquiry here from the super chat. Well, guys, that concludes the second 4 star signs, and now we are entering into the second break. Some of you is going to get free reading. Oh my god. So some of you is going to get free reading in the next 5 minutes, and all that you got to do in order to do so, or in order to participate into it, is just input a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on this question. Of course, anyone who supported and is about to support the channel through and me through super chat, like Sandy, for example, Anna, Taco, etc., etc., you guys are going to get your readings at the end of the live stream. That is regardless are you picked or not in these free readings. And finally, if you do wish a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you are going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you will see full list of my services and as well their pricing. So based on your budget and as well your needs, you can go for whichever service suits you best. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I hate it. I can't muffle my sneeze because of my ear infection. I have to literally let it out. So yeah, I do apologize for that. It's not very pleasant, but it is what it is. You know, health comes first, isn't it? No, I am feeling well. I mean, the infection is no longer there, but still there is a leftovers, you know, kind of like a collateral. It was because you are new, it was so much worse. I had that ring, it was terrible. It's just I couldn't concentrate, do nothing. Oh, thank you for your understanding, guys. It's not exactly that. I mean, when you go in front of camera, you can't do whatever you want, okay? It's... yeah, that in some specific cases, no, that could be the case. Yeah, where the Four of Swords may appear as that you need professional help. So maybe when it comes next time, it will be great if you go to a doctor. It's the ear is not polluted in any way. I'm cleaning my ears constantly. It's the nerve from the infection, which is kind of like damaged, and it needs a lot of time, especially the ear nerves. They need a lot of time to fix themselves, to repair themselves, if they are to repair at all. But my condition is improving. You know, it's improving to a point where I almost have I have no ringing throughout the day, and when I lay down, because when you lay down you actually put a pressure on it, so when I lay down I almost have no ringing whatsoever. It's still there, but it is very, very negligible. So I am recovering rather quite fast, because my physician told me it's gonna take years. Like, oh my god, what are you talking about, man? News Devon, thank you so much for your for 50 pounds. Thank you, News Devon. Make sure that you do stick around as well up until the end to see how your meeting with your boss is gonna go. Karen, thank you for $3 for non. No, I would ask you not to mention any businesses in the live streams. It goes against certain rules. All right, so I guess we have no questions. So we are going to move forward then with the last 4 star signs, which are going to be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and finally we're going to have Pisces. Okay. But still. Well, Andrea, we are about to see for Aquarius. We don't know yet. But what happened to you, Taco? I kind of missed it. Sagittarius. Abscess on liver. Oh. How do you got that? All right, so Sagittarius, first one that is going to be the Knight of Cups, followed by the second of the Four of Pentacles. Moving on, next we do have the Seven of Wands, followed by the Hermit. And then the last one that is going to be the Five of Pentacles. Taco, I would kind of like beg the differ, because there are worse pains. I mean, I'm not saying that it is not excruciating one, but when the kidney starts hurting, oh my god, you want to die. I mean, I'm sorry, but you know, when my kidney starts hurting, when I do have kidney crisis, I just want to die. It's nothing else matters. You just don't care about anything else. Chandra, thank you for your $5 donation. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end as well, where you're going to get your personalized reading for the full moon in Scorpio. Thank you, Chandra. Ooh. Well, how do you have leftovers when they pay? I mean, have they not cleaned it out? Kidney, liver, yeah, it's similar, but kidney, I believe it hurts one idea more. it's freaking unbearable. I mean, for the kidneys, I have a strong painkillers, and I mean really strong painkillers, and they barely take the edge. I mean, they kind of like, from a state you want to kill yourself, you go to a state, maybe I want to kill myself if it's gonna hurt a little bit more. Jessica, thank you. Thank you so much. Right, so for Sagittarius, again the cards, the Knight of Cups, because I got wind a little bit, followed by the Four of Pentacles. Moving on, next we do have the Seven of Wands. The fourth card, that is going to be the Hermit, and the final one we have the Five of Pentacles. So Sagittarius, it seems that you do have, or at least within this lunar cycle here, the insight that you do need a dire change of a lifestyle is going to come to you. In fact, because I am even stronger Sagittarius than Scorpio, although I never felt that energy, today I made exactly that decision. Weird, eh? But yeah, I mean, that can be seen into these two cards, which is actually the spiritual part of the reading. So with the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit, there we're going to learn that you know, there is a better way, so to speak. There is more important things, so to speak. There is, or rather, like, we are gonna see our life through the prism of intelligence and wisdom, rather than through the prism of, let's say, selfishness and comfortability. And that will push us into, or rather, like, it's going to give us the strength to make the conscious choice and decision to change our lifestyle. And even more than that, the environment is going to push us into that direction, because the environment promises here with the Knight of Cups. So what does the Knight Cups does, guys? Let me show you. Hold on a second. Let me show you. That's why I love Reader Waite, because you can explain the cards so easily with this deck. So you can see the Knights of Cups in the Reader Waite, right? And what does the knight do? It holds a cup in front of his face, and it follows the cup. The cup represents what hearts desire, right? So the environment, it is where we follow what the heart desire, but in order to be one with it, we have to change our lifestyle from the spiritual part of the reading. And that can be seen as well into the second card of the Four of Pentacles, which is in a position what holds us back, you know, what deprives us of any results. And what is the Four of Pentacles? It is, if not the comfort zone. What is the Four of Pentacles if not, you know, sitting into one place, unwilling to make a move? And I am kind of surprised that we do have the Seven of Wands into the third position. We should have had the Tower there. It's kind of like, you know, something make us do something, you know. I like, and I said the situation is kind of dire, right? It is dire because with the Hermit and the Five of Pentacles, that is almost like, it's almost like we are going against ourselves right now, not doing it. Well, Chandra, what it means? Okay, so what it means, it is that you have to see which areas of your life you are really lacking at. whether that is going to be your love life, whether that is going to be your career life, and those areas that you do lacking at, that is not because of the circumstances, but because the way we address things there. The way, for example, we tackle with suitors, the way, for example, we handle tasks, the way, for example, we talk with people, wherever we are lacking at, okay? And we just have to change that style. We have to change the lifestyle of those life fields and life areas. That is what it means. Because they can be exactly as the heart desires, should we address them in a different way. And that is an insight which we are going to get within this lunar transit. And even more than that, as we can see the Seven of Wands being into the third position, we actually, for some of these, we will come up to a realization that they worth actually more than we have ever known. And that is very common when with those situations where you lose something and then you do realize how much it means to you. Well, here Sagittarius doesn't have to lose anything to understand how much that means to them. Well, I guess if you do have, for example, a lot of interest of Sagittarius and they are interested in you as well, they will realize actually how you mean to them, for example, okay? But for us Sagittarius, that also kind of like speaks for such a development, so to speak. And thus, instead of how can I put it into words, the whole point of all that, what really boils down to is not to miss any more opportunities to fulfill the needs and as well the wishes of our heart. It all comes, it is what boils down to, nothing more, nothing less. But in order to accomplish that, first we have to look within ourselves, right? We have to look where the problem within ourselves is, especially when it comes to relationships, because it's always two-sided. The problem is always two-sided, and we can't fix the other side if we do not fix ourselves first. So that is for Sagittarius, literally. But yeah, it could be as well, take it that situation also, okay, which is very trivial, okay? You wanna, I don't know, gain weight or lose weight, whatever. But it's just you wanna change your appearance. Well, that is not gonna happen by you doing that thing right now. You have to change the lifestyle of your diet, of your routine, and so on and so forth, okay? So it's you want to do that, you want to get fit, whether you need to gain weight, whether you need to lose weight, whatever it is, you want to get fit, but you have to change your lifestyle in order to do so. And these cards here are saying that should you have the will, which you do, to change it, you are going to get fit, because you're going to get what your heart desires. Liz, thank you so much for your $2 support. Thank you, Liz. Make sure that you do as well stick around a little bit longer, where you're going to get your personalized reading over the transit. All right, next one, Capricorn. We have the Page of Swords as the first one, followed by the King of Cups. Moving on, next we do have La Luna. Oh my god, that is such a struggle. With yourself, that is, okay? Not with someone else, but with yourself. Then it's going to be the Queen of Wands, and the final one, That is going to be the hang. Oh my god. Oh, it's so freakish. And I'm putting that smile on myself because I do know the Pisces moon being questioned, and it's pretty much the answer is already here. Uh, okay. So it's a pretty simple read, really, but you are not going to have a pleasant experience throughout throughout the next couple of weeks, Capricorn. And I said that this is going to be internal struggle. It comes from the page, okay? It's into the first position, and the King of Cups into the second position, okay? So what happens with that? It is a difference in the expectations according to what is supposed to be, maybe. How should I say it? Yeah, it's literally there is going to be a difference in between the. It doesn't have to be even difference. It's quite difficult to express it. Imagine it that way. Okay, you are expecting an offer, right? You are expecting some kind of an offer, just for the sake of the example, and the offer comes just not the way you have you wanted it to come, and that kind of like creates a internal conflict. Well, should I accept it right now? It's no different than, say, you are in a relationship and you know that your boyfriend is gonna propose you, right? And you are daydreaming about these beautiful, I don't know, 1,000 flowers, or maybe he's gonna do it by setting you both on a billboard and propose you that way, you know, these kind of like cliche ways. But it's kind of cute, isn't it? And you are daydreaming for that, and he does something completely unexpected that kind of like it leaves you with the mixed feelings within, and you just kind of like you are questioning, oh my god, should I even accept that, right? Well, you should. According to this, you can't escape it. You need to understand something, okay? The ball is rolling and it is far beyond your reach to stop it. Yes, of course, we do have a free will. I mean, you can say, you know what, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Or you can say, you know what, I don't want to have anything to do with the job. Or just you can say, you know what, I don't want to have anything to do with that friendship. It's gonna find you again. And think it that way, okay? Think it that way. Let's give an example with, for example, love, okay? You may try to convince yourself, let's say, that you do not love the person, or that you do love somebody else or someone. Kind of like, I don't know how to put it into words. You may try to convince yourself that yeah, that you do love someone, or that you do not love someone, whichever case. But the thing is that what you may not understand is that love is free like the wind. I mean, you may try to catch it, even trap it, I don't know, to use it to your advantage. But at the end of the day, wind and water, or rather like it's like water. At the end of the day, water always finds its way. Okay, so you just can't fight with it. And it doesn't, and I'm just saying love because I'm trying to make an example here, but the lesson for you, Capricorn, is just you can't fight fate, guys. You just can't. And according to these cards, the ball is already rolling one way or another. And I don't know, Melissa, why you are making that grim face, but it's actually a good thing. Okay, because according to these cards, this internal struggle you will have, it's actually quite in vain, because with the development of the whole thing, where you just can't do anything about it. I mean, you can't delay it, that's given, okay, and it's only making you lose time, but whatever. Okay, let's say you postpone, you throw, you kick the can so far that you almost forget about it. It's kind of like it's gonna come to you one more time. Say you have rejected the job offer. Well, that job offer is gonna hunt you every couple of months. Okay, or you do reject the woman or the guy that wants to be with you. Well, they're gonna hunt you. Not hunt you, hound you. Okay, it's like a haunting that we're talking about here, and one way or the other, at the end, you alone will decide to give it a go, whether for the job, for the friendship, whatever it is. And with these energies of the hangman, that is where those energies help you to accept it, but not because you have to do it against yourself, but because yourself, it's kind of evolving. I don't know how to explain it. So I'm not going to get into this deep philosophical and spiritual interpretation of the hangman, because it is not my point to tell you how you should grow spiritually. But on the practical note with the hangman, when you do allow the thing to happen, at least according to these cards, your concerns in this field, whether social field, whether working field, career, relationship field, they are going to be resolved probably for the rest of your life here. And you may ask yourself, well, do I have what it takes? Well, you do. We do have the Queen of Wands into the fourth position, which is the lesson that you need to learn. And in fact, you do have more than it needs. Simple. So I don't know what holds you back, okay? But it's your struggle. I mean, be my guest. Right, so that was I know what holds you back. It is just the imperfection. That's what holds you back, but I don't know. Right, so that was for Capricorn. Moving next, we do have Aquarius. So first one for Aquarius, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Moving on next, this is going to be the Five of Pentacles, followed by the page of another page, the Knight of Wands. Afterwards, we do have the Three of Cups. It is appearing a lot tonight, and it was the prime card in the collective reading, Pisces Moonbeam. Of course, it's appearing a lot tonight. It's just in every single star sign team. It's for some star signs, it's described through different cards, but it is still in the how can I put it into words? The atmosphere is the same. For example, Leo, they have the Two of Swords, which is again that they have to kind of like can you see that none of these star signs need to take initiative? It's all about them understanding the situation they're in and accepting it the way it is. But I do have a conflict here, probably conflict of interest, because I am, like I said, I do have a lot of Sagittarius, but I am rising Aquarius. And it's a conflict because Aquarius has a Five of Pentacles into the second position, which actually kind of points that Aquarius are actually doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, they don't have to change a thing with their advances. It's a very awkward reading, to be honest. Give me a second. It's a influence. It's power. It's the power to grow. Oh, no. I'm nothing Sagittarius per se, but I do have 4 planets in it. Okay, I do have 4 planets. That's why I am kind of like considering Sagittarius also to affect me. Sagittarius reading also to affect me, David. But other than that, I am nothing Sagittarius per se. Well, Pisces Moonbeam Aquarius reading is almost like, you know, Aquarius doesn't know how to close it out. Okay, they have it on the tip of their fingers, but they don't know how to kind of like squeeze their hands in a fist and pretty much seal it or conceal it or whatever. That's how it really looks like here. Well, the good news for Aquarius, it is that with the Two of Wands, we guys have time. I mean, that thing ain't gonna end in the next couple of weeks, and probably we can't really squeeze our hands because we don't grasp on its full extent. It definitely involves somebody else, though. It's not decisions as well. It's not about decisions. No, it's about the way we see things. We and somebody, or yeah, it's somebody, but it could be as well as an entity. Okay, so it's like we can't really close up the job because we and the company we work for kind of have a different views a little bit, and that's the key here, a little bit. It's because we have a bit of mismatch. We cannot close the deal. We cannot be friends because in some points we don't see things the same way, but actually that is kind of negligible. Or we can't really allow, say, the love to unfold because in some aspects of relationship life, we do not see things the same way. But what we Aquarius, because if the other person is Leo, then they don't have to do it. But we Aquarius need to understand, and that is going to be probably a very difficult lesson for Aquarius. Tell me about it. But we need to understand that, you know, everything comes with a price. You know that. So you can't have, for example, a job without investing in it. And when I say investing in it, I don't mean just only money. We have to invest, for example, compromises, which is exactly what we're talking about here. Because with the Knight of Wands into the third position, that is kind of like our attitude, our behavior, and how we should go forward with it. And I would have liked to have a Page of Wands instead there, but Knight of Wands is gonna do it. It's just Knight of Wands is way more telegraphed. It's way more restricted, so to speak. But nonetheless, we should be quite enterprising in the next couple of weeks. Or in other words, we should be willing to experiment, to try out, to see if it works. That is very, very important. So being stubborn And I bet you love that Pisces moonbeam, but being stubborn, it's not the way we should go forward in the next couple of weeks. And above everything else, we should listen. I mean, that is gonna help us a big time. So, bottom line, what really we are fighting for? Well, we as Aquarius, we are fighting for the big fish. We are fighting for the client. We are fighting for the job. We are fighting, rather like striving or earning here, the friend, the love, if that's what we are fighting for. So a lot is at stake. And all that it is standing our way, it's the lack of alignment with the vision of the organization or the person that has to render the final verdict. Because, for example, if you are to work with somebody, you both need to have the same idea, and the idea overall is going to be the same, but it is just in some minor aspect there is going to be a mismatch. And that's a price that we as Aquarius have to pay in order to get the job. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for Aquarius. Imagine someone to tell us what to do, or to be smarter than us. That's a is that even a thing? I mean, oh, ask Pisces Moonbeam how we are not stubborn. I'm not stubborn, Pisces Moonbeam, am I? Not at all. Thanks, David. Is it? Oh, well, I can't really. I will, when I'm done with the live stream, I'm gonna go out and check it out. All right, last but not least, Sean, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, which is a little bit longer, where you're going to get your personalized reading for the full moon, or in other words, how the full moon personally going to affect you. Thank you, Sean. Five of Swords. Three of Pentacles. Five of Wands. The Tower. Oh my god. A Six of Swords. Alright. Well, that speaks only about one thing, really, and this is changing of a social environment. Yeah, I mean, just hold on a second to take out the, yeah. Sherry, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars support. Thank you, Sherry. Make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer as well, where you're gonna get your reading for how the transit is affecting you personally. All right, so back to Pisces. Yeah, it's about realization, and I'm not talking about the full social circle here, guys. But within the next few days, even it may have already started by the way of the look of those cards. You are going to start grasp on the understanding that not everybody which is around you actually wishes you your wellness. In fact, there are people who are very skillfully and cunningly on top of it. They are using their positions in you to get to you, for example, and to take certain advantages and so on and so forth. Yeah, I did. None. I did. So it's a period where you are gonna pretty much make a spring cleaning. Okay, spring cleaning of these foolishest friends, for the lack of a better word, I would say. However, it's going to be a bit difficult process. Okay, we can see that with the Six of Swords and the Tower. And the Tower here, and the Six of Swords shows that you may have that moment, oh my god, I'm gonna be left without any friends, where I'm gonna find other friends, and etc, you know. And you can kind of like freak out for a moment, but just for a moment, because after that the energies which are supporting you, Pisces, throughout the next couple of weeks, the energies themselves are gonna push you into step out into the world and actually actively seek for a people to connect to, people that share it's not the gender, it's people that are sharing the same freaking cause that you are having right now, whether a cause for a charity, whether a cause for, I don't know, some kind of emotion, whatever it is. So people that are sharing interests and cause, and guess what, you are gonna find them here. But it is very important, and that is what I'm going to finish up with, because literally that's how the reading stands. But you have to be very careful, and I mean very, very careful whom you are to trust in the next couple of weeks. And especially do not trust a people that are offering to support you, but the conditions are very vague. I mean, it's kind of like I am doing it, you know, in vain, but not exactly in vain. We are going to see how you're going. Don't worry about the payoff. I mean, we are going to talk about that later. Let's now finish the job. No. If there is no certain conditions under which person helps you, supports you, etc., do not take it, because it's gonna end up you kind of like repaying back twice double, in more extreme cases even tenfold for it, because this support, which is in a form of help, is actually meant for a domination. So they have leverage, and they're going to use that leverage. You don't want anyone to have leverage on you. So that is for Pisces. Nina Papetti, thank you so much for your 10 Canadian. Thank you, Nina. Make sure that you do. And David, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars. You both guys, make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're going to get your personalized readings. Because we are almost there. We are almost at the super chat readings. But before we get there, one last free reading giveaway. So in the next 5 minutes, you guys get to ask a question into the comments down below, and after about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one question. I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question itself. Anyone who supported and is about to support the channel and me through super chat is going to get a reading at the end of the live stream. That's regardless are you picked or not in these free readings giveaway. And finally, should you wish to have a personal reading with me, one-on-one live, or you want to have it recorded, whichever way you want it, you can go to my website, which you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you will see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. So yeah, let's see if we're going to have questions this time around. And Pisces Moonbeam, if we do have questions, I want you to pick the question. In fact, I am commissioning you with picking questions. I don't want to sound like a boss, but I am commissioning you for a picking questions. Thank you, Angela, for sticking around. You champion. Have a great rest, and till next time. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Chandra. If you don't have any friends, you have to change as going per Sagittarius reading. You have to change the type of people you're trying to relate to. It's exactly what the lifestyle means there. Good night, Angela. My mom calls me Radko. You guys can call me Rat. I don't need another mom. And that's the thing, every time my mom called me that, I knew I fucked up very bad. I knew I did something that she doesn't handle very well. You know, and, you know, conflict ensues. And, do I like reading cards? Yeah, I do. That's why I'm here. Because it's thing I love doing. In a certain way. Pacific, perfect name. Yeah. And it's the name you can pronounce, because Radko, it's a kind of a difficult name, Latin speaking, to pronounce. I know that Mattia can. Yeah, you can. You can, Mattia. It's the new version of Tot Tarot. It's called Millennium Tot, the deck. But it's a really beautiful deck. I love using it. I can't stand the traditional Tot, so ugly. Oh, but as soon as this deck showed up on the market, I knew I had to get it. And the thing it is that in our country, or rather like in mainland Europe, it's very difficult to get your hands to certain decks. Because I think that the mainland Europe, the decks are printed in Switzerland, but not by US gaming company. And US gaming company is holding rights on so many decks. For example, this deck here, which is a Radiant Reader, right? Radiant Reader. The only place you can find it in Europe, that's England. You can't find it anywhere else. And many more decks as well. So it's kind of like we are crippled when it comes to tarot decks. Of course, you can order it through Amazon and anything like that, but I just don't bother. I'm just commissioning my brother with it. It's easier that way. Let him handle it. Okay, let him handle it. Do we have a question, Pisces Moonbeam? Yeah, I know, but from USA it becomes very expensive. Oh, Pisces Moonbeam, I can tell her a message. It's just I don't know how accurate it's going to be because yeah, tarot is not designed for such things. Oh my god. Get the hell out of here. Well, she already has one. I was about to try to answer you, Karen, anyway. You pick Liz. Okay, so let me check on the question then. Should I give X another chance or keep going at it the way I am? Oh my god, you are showing your teeth, eh? Making the poor man suffer? Why? Those are the cards, Liz. I have the strength with the Queen of Swords. I actually didn't even need it to draw the next card. That these two are giving perfect answers, and that is to go about it the way you are right now. Well, do we feel generous, Pisces Moonbeam? I do actually. All right, so Julie, let's check on the message of your mom then. What in the world? You're welcome, Liz. Oh, stop calling me that. There is so much to it. All right, Julie. The message is that the harmony in your life cannot be accomplished by you going about it in the way of satisfying the urges and the needs you have, but instead the harmony can only come from the expansion and the growth of the natural gifts you have. In other words, uh, according to these cards at least, the message of your mom, it is that as much as it looks to do what you want, it's much more beneficial in the long run to do what you have to. And also your mother, it's at least according to these cards, one more time, I don't know if you have person next to you, like, you know, someone that loves you or not, but if you don't, and even if you do have, it's also a message that you need to think about, and that is that, you know, love comes in so much different guises. Okay, it doesn't have to be just only the love that makes your feet swipe and you know, your stomach flicker and your eyes go blind and so on and so forth. Instead, love, it's a very fine balance in between opposites, and the most beautiful one comes up when two perfectly matching opposites collide. And the message is that when that happens, because it's gonna happen, don't run away from it, but embrace it. Give yourself to it completely. It's coming. That's literally the message. Guys, couple of minutes and I am moving to the super chat readings. So I hope that this sounds like your mom. That will be the biggest testament that that is the message from her and not from something else. Yeah, Karen, thank you so much for your $3 for Julie. Julie, make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're gonna get a reading how the full moon in Scorpio is going to affect you directly. Guys, it's a pretty long one, so actually that's not. how I say Scorpio? Am I not saying it the way it's supposed to be said? I know that I don't say Leo correctly, but Scorpio, come on, guys. I mean, I can't mispronounce Scorpio. Oh, Ginger, no, you aren't. Oh my God, Ginger, thank you. It's because I'm not doing it. That is because I'm not a professional in it, Lauren. Like you said, I'm not a medium. So I can do it, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. That's why you cannot see it as a service. But I can do it, yeah. I I am Rad, yeah. Just give me a moment, guys. I gotta clear my thoughts first. Well, like I told you, I'm not a professional in it. I don't talk with spirits. All I do is I hope that they show it through the cards, and sometimes they may not. Because if you are to work with them, that means that you can compel them, which is a dangerous job. I mean, many people seek that service, but what they don't understand that this is necromancy. That's the dark art, guys. It's a dark art. It is. Because Karen, you never know if you are not professional, like you if you don't know how to catch them and compel them, you don't know who you are talking to really. How do you know that you're talking with the one you want to talk? Hold on a second, guys. All right, let's dive into it. Mattia, your transit, the full moon is gonna affect you by Two of Swords, The Five of Pentacles is one of the best effects you can have, clearly. I don't know what kind of a troubles you are facing right now, Mattia. Like, you know, these are kind of like mundane troubles within your kind of like day-to-day routine. But this within this full moon, these routine troubles you are facing, whether troubles in your home or in your work, etc., etc., you know, these kind of like stones which are turning over the carriage, so to speak, well, they are kind of like gonna start disappearing one by one. It's just they're gonna start losing relevance. And the bigger thing is that you are gonna come up to some kind of a decision that is gonna be this time around. I don't know if it's gonna be for a change, but this time around is gonna be the right decision. So within this full moon, the full moon this period of time, or the energy of the full moon, very clearly is gonna point you into the right direction. That is how it's going to affect you. And if I have to speculate here what for, it should be about something about money stability, something like that. It's just gonna point you in the right direction. Karen, how is going to affect you, the full moon? We do have the 10 of Wands, Karen. And for the second question, are you gonna miss it? We do have the 2 of Wands. I don't think it's possible to miss it, Karen. I don't think it's possible to miss it. In fact, this I believe we were talking about the dream developing. Okay, it's already happening. It is not in a state that you can consider it as a dream, but it is evolving. It's getting there. Okay, by the look of the cards, it's getting there, and very, very, very soon you are gonna see it as a very satisfying development, results, and so on and so forth. However, the full moon itself here is going to affect you as the 10 of Wands, and that shows that you have a lot of tasks to do, or at least the full moon is going to bring a lot of tasks to you to do, which by the end of these tasks, there is going to be a great reward at the end. Now I know that you are going through a recovery, and maybe they refer to you, that's just a speculation, okay? They may refer to something else. But if they refer to your recovery, you may feel it a bit tense with the recovery thing, kind of like your physician and so on and so forth. It may kind of like put additional therapies, and you can feel it really burdening, okay? But at the end, it's going to give a great result. So slot to do, yeah, it's you need to know that the whole point here is that at some point throughout the next couple of weeks, you may kind of like wondering, why are you doing all that? Well, this card shows that there is a reason, okay? That there is a result at the end waiting for you. Just don't give up. Ginger, thank you so much for your $11 US. Good night, Mattia. Have a great one, and I hope that this guidance helps you. But Ginger, thank you so much for your $11 US. Make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're gonna get your reading. Taco, your card. Am I gonna get the pain meds? I have the 5 of Swords with the Ace of Cups, and then it's going to be the 3 of Pentacles. The simple answer for you, Taco, it is that if you harp about it, they are gonna give them to you, okay? But according to these cards, it doesn't look like, it's not like these pain meds is not gonna do the job. They are. the thing is that they will have some kind of an effect on your overall condition, over your overall state, and it's not gonna be a good effect. Okay, so according to these cards, it will be best for you to trust the doctors. Okay, best for you to trust the doctors. They know better, definitely better. And the meds that they are going to prescribe you, they should work, kind of like they should do the job to an extent where you will have as comfortable as possible, you know, experience, and to an extent where there isn't gonna be any impact on your health furthermore. But other than that, if you do harp about it, if you do kind of like actively seeking for it, and where you reach to extreme lengths to get to those pain meds, they are going to give it to you at the end just so you shut up, okay, and don't bother them anymore. So this is how far you got to go to. Karen, is the landlord going to address the issue? You are saying today. Unfortunately, I cannot say for today. That is overall. And we do have those couple of cards. And yes, it's going to address the issue. I don't think that is going to take a side though. But the intervention of the landlord, it should kind of like kill the issue. That isn't because the landlord is taking your side or the side of whomever you do have a dispute with, but because that is causing disruption in the property. Okay, that is kind of like causing discomfort, inconvenience, and he doesn't want to have inconvenience there. That is going to be the reason. But other than that, those cards are speaking that as far as this question is concerned, you are going to go out of dependency from it, and by doing so, you are going to feel comfortable about it. So I do believe, by the look of those cards, that you kind of like, you know, the outcome, although unintended, should be kind of positive to you. Yeah, that's not just only that. Pain meds, they change the chemistry in your brain. That's what they're doing. Tracy, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for how this full moon is going to affect you. Karen, why are you, I just have a question. If you have so much trouble with because look at it that way, even if the landlord intervenes right now, these people, they're not gonna stop. I mean, they're gonna wait for a little while, so kind of like the situation is forgotten, they're gonna do something else again. I mean, why don't you just, you know, move, kind of like sell that property and move somewhere else? Or if you are renting, just go and rent somewhere else. I wouldn't put with such a neighbors. And believe me, I lived in a block, okay, in an apartment complex, where people don't like me, and me and my brother, we just moved away because reasons. Not only the pain receptors, well, basically the opioids, they work in a few ways. The first one is the pain receptors, yeah, but the second one, it is the transmission, okay, because in your synapses and the nephrons, you do have a 3 basically three transmittive receptors. You have mu receptor, gamma receptor, and beta receptor, or whatever. But the thing is that the pain goes through the mu receptor. Okay, this is how it is. This is how it is transmitted. And yeah, oh my god, Pisces Moonbeam, I do skip you. I'm gonna come back to you. Hold on a second. So this is how the pain is transmitted, through the mu receptor. But the mu receptor also transmits the euphoric feeling as well. And so that's why, for example, when something hurts and you go out for a walk, it hurts less when you are walking. Or if you have a cold and you go out for a walk, suddenly the cold becomes less and less annoying. And that is because when you walk, you actually stimulate dopamine in your body, which literally is the hormone of euphoria, and it kind of like, it pushes back a little bit the pain, or it takes space in the mu receptor, it takes intervals in the mu receptor to the pain to be transmitted. So it literally transmits less pain. What the opioid does, it mimics dopamine and basically overflows the mu receptor, meaning that the pain cannot get transmitted. So you have pain, but you just don't know that you have pain. That's the reason. Of course, you know, the side effect, it is that your brain gets adjusted to it, and it needs more and more just to feel normal, with prolonged use, that is. So using it one time, that's fine, okay? But kind of like living on it, that's not okay. Pisces Moonbeam, to your question, no, it isn't. We do have this. I mean, I don't know what kind of a proof you're gonna have other than this one. It's just... So I hope that I kind of like gave you a brief kind of like description how the opioid work, one way of how it works. Also, they stop the action momentum of the charged particles in the nephrons as well. So that is the third way, or the third kind of like, yeah, it's the third side that they're working on. All right, Anna, how is going to affect you the upcoming full moon? So we do have the Three of Swords with the Four of Pentacles, and then is going to be the Empress. No, it isn't. It isn't a possible ending. It's, in fact, the Fool, it is like starting anew. Okay? It's like starting anew. Yeah, withdraw is really hard, because when you stop this mimicry of dopamine, this transmitter has to be filled with something, okay? And what it's filled when you don't have the dopamine, well, it's filled with pain. That is why, for example, people who are already hooked on opioids are experiencing pain, while they have no reason to do so. That is why people on heroin are experiencing pain, because heroin is it mimics dopamine, and in fact, I believe it's the only one that mimics dopamine, alongside with morphine, oxycodone, and so on and so forth. But they are literally coming from the same ancestor, which is the juice of puppy. They are literally coming from the same thing. It's just different formula. All right, so back to Anna. Let's stop talking about things I'm not an expert at. But because I do decide to handle my kidney crisis with painkillers, I read so much about them. I mean, I read so much literature about them. I know a lot about painkillers, and consequently narcotics as well. So these three, Anna, obviously is going to be a rough lunar transit for you upcoming couple of weeks. Now, according to these cards, you're going to start finding cracks, gaps. How can I put it into words? Imperfections, let's call it that way. So imperfections into your standing, primarily the things you are doing. Okay, let me check on, yeah, primarily the things you are doing or the things you are holding on to. How can I put it into words? So for example, if you are say you are dating somebody and you are holding on to this person, that they are becoming a reason for you to move on, then you are going to start kind of like, it's not even doubting that, it's more like a fear. I don't know how to put it into, well, that's the thing, Anna. According to these cards, you now have something to hold on to, right? To cling into. And in the next couple of weeks, you are going to start being afraid not to lose it. What if you lose it, right? What if you lose it one way or the other? What if you lose, for example, your job or your classes or a person you are dating, if you do have such around you? So it's very important, Anna, not to allow these negative thoughts to dwell into your mind. It's kind of like to settle in it. And I can suggest you a book. It's in Cyrillic, but I believe you can find it in Latin as well. Hold on a second. By the way, I'm not sponsored by it, but I want to share that with you guys. Hold on a second. This thing, okay, so this thing, I hope you do find it's the silver method, and if you type it down, just find a book that resembles this. Here you are gonna learn how to handle such thoughts which are negative, desperate. It kind of like they get you to the point of depression, and with this method, basically you can overwhelm them, you can overcome them actually, and make yourself be happy again. No, it's not about expectations, Anna. You already it's not even about expectations. It's about values. It's about things you value. What if you lose them? And I'm not saying that you are going to have a situation where you lose them. It is just, you know, at some point you just start thinking that way. And that is very normal. That means that you do realize how much these things means to you, which is a good thing. It is just you're going to learn it the hard way. Okay, moving on next. And I'm going to butcher your name again. I'm sorry. Latilis 1104. How is this full moon in Scorpio going to affect you? We do have the Seven of Cups for you, catalyzed with the Ace of Swords, and then we do have the Ten of Cups. So we do have these three cards. And it's going to be very weird, actually, experience that you're going to have. It's silver method, basically how it translates, okay? It translates Jose Silva, and here it says success the way we think, or the way of thinking. That is how it translates. Also, you're called Jackie. All right, Jackie. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name one more time. You know the way I'm. Oh my God. Okay, Jackie. I'm so sorry that I'm butchering your name up until this point. So where was it? Here. Right, so these cards, it will be very awkward experience, okay? And it will be awkward experience because actually it's going to be a very pleasant experience that you're going to have with these cards. In fact, what is common... No, it's not the way we think. It's success is a way of thinking or some... So basically what it says there, it is that by the way we think, we can reach success, so to speak. What kind of a second question? I haven't saw a second question of Pisces Moonbeam, Karen. But if you say so, thank you so much for another $3 support. Hold on a second. Right, so Jackie, so yeah, it will be very pleasant experience with these three cards, because things beforehand which you thought that you can never have, whether a man you can never had, you know, whether kind of like a house you could never had, or a car, or so on and so forth, now will become more and more tangible with the upcoming weeks. In fact, when I say more tangible, I mean more, yeah, reachable. And that is not because, and that's why I'm saying it's going to be awkward. That is not because you are going to, I don't know how to say that in a mild way. It's not because you're going to do something out of the ordinary, let's put it that way, but because, for example, the person who is chasing you will start becoming more and more like the person you want. It's because the car you're driving will start becoming more and more the car you ever wanted, or because the house that you are living in is going to become more and more homey, you know what I mean, or the job that you're working is going to start becoming more and more pleasant, and so on and so forth. Therefore, you will kind of like in the next few weeks, for whichever thing you kind of like disliked in your life, you're going to start liking it more and more. Do you know why? Because you're going to see it as a blessing rather than as a curse. You're going to see it like a virtue rather than affliction in the next few weeks. Right, so moving next, we do have Janelle Baker. Will I save 1,500 for SUV? 3 of 1. I don't even need to draw another card, but I will. Yeah. Now with these two cards, Janelle, it will be a bit challenging. But actually, what they are saying is that you do have the right idea how to do so. I don't know what kind of an idea you do have, but it is the right one. However, they're also saying that this idea can become a bit bigger. So you are kind of like, right now, if you are thinking inside the box, you can think outside of the box a little bit. And I believe that you can save those money even much faster than the time frame you have bestowed, which was, I believe, September or something like that. So you can definitely do it. All right, so Jessica, how is this lunar cycle going to affect you? We do have the Hangman for you, Jessica. It will be... I already answered your question, Taco. So you may want to go back and watch it because it's an important answer. Let's get back to Jessica. So Jessica, with the Hangman, it's it will be a tense experience. And do you know why it's going to be tense? Because when we do have the Hangman, people usually feel hopeless, not hopeless, helpless. It's like you can't do anything. You wanna be involved. You kind of like you wanna alter situations, but you can't. And so it's kind of like it will feel more like defeat throughout the majority of this lunar cycle than you are doing anything productive. You will feel more like an observer than someone that is actually in the action, while this action affects you. Okay, while it truly affects you. But at the end of the day, with the hangman, things kind of like, or rather like, if you do take that this situation is, or the situation you're going to be put in, it's a stormy situation. At the end of the day, the storm or the skies darken are going to be set into light again, and all that you got to do so that can happen is just wait. And you may ask, and then why I have to endure all that? Well, because the hangman, to the hangman is attached a perspective. So you are seeing things in the wrong way. And that's why you have to wait a little bit so you can see them in the right way. And then kind of like the motion is going to start moving, or your life is going to be set into stir one more time, or once again. Well, Jackie, it's gonna be good to book a session if it is about the same topic that you asked me. I don't know when was that. It would have been it will be good if there is a major change on that topic, or if you do have other topics, feel free to book anytime. No, it's just what I mean. You shouldn't have readings that often. I mean to the same topic. If you are gonna ask about the same topic. All right, Sandy, what will unfold if I apply to Case Western for the social work program? We do have the Death card with the Ace of Pentacles. You should get it, according to these cards. I mean, you should really get it, by the way it looks. It's basically what happened. Well, I should not be that specific. Because what happens is that by applying, this is going to make a huge difference in your life, okay? By giving you a rare opportunity to further your goal and become harmonious with, not just only content, okay? It's not harmonious, content and happy with how things are developing. That is the answer, and that's why I said you should get it. But I don't know what your aims are, so I shouldn't say that. It's just, the answer is the sentences I said afterwards. Next one, News Devon. I have meeting with my boss. Will it be positive? Actually, yeah, it should be very positive, or rather like a positive with the Six of Cups. News Devon, if I have to guess what the topic is going to be about, it's all about, are you comfortable with what you are doing, and maybe your boss may ask you as well, are you willing to handle certain tasks? And by willing to handle, I mean, are you gonna be happy to handle them? That will be some kind of the subject. But with the Six of Cups, the whole topic of the whole thing, it is that, are you feeling okay with what you are doing? Are you depressed? Are you feeling creative, and so on and so forth? So it should be rather a positive experience. I will be curious to see how it actually gonna turn out. Non, how is this full moon going to affect you? We do have the star card, so it's a light that is gonna shine on your street. With the star card, the very least you can expect of this full moon is that, and you are mentioning here that you are going, or at least from what you are typing and so on and so forth, you're not having a very pleasant time that you are going through right now. with the star card, usually the time of upheaval and turmoil ends. Okay, and at the very least you can catch up your breath. So this full moon, the very least, should make your worries less, if not completely takes them away. And also into more extreme interpretations of the cards, you can see now, how can I put it into words? Something you dreamt for, accomplishable and tangible. You're welcome, Jackie. Good night, Jay. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Chandra, how is this full moon going to affect you? We do have the Seven of Swords. I just love that card. It's going to affect you in a way that you're going to start taking care more for yourself. And not just only that, but as well, the effect will make you be more, for the lack of a better word, I'm going to say self-stepping forward, or standing your ground, or having stronger backbone, you know, or in generally demanding proper treatment. Simple as that. This is how it's going to affect you. But in the next few days, you can expect to start doing more things for yourself. And you may ask, isn't that selfish? No, I mean, if you're not making yourself happy, how you are supposed to make others people happy? Liz, how is this full moon going to affect you? We do have the sun card for you. It's actually a great effect that the full moon is going to have. Basically, in the next couple of weeks, Liz, all of your endeavors are going to develop naturally. Okay, it's going to have that natural development. Things that one thing is going to follow after another, and not just only that, but as well, whatever plans you do have, they simply are going to grow under the energy of the sun. Not just only that, but it is everywhere you go, you will make people happy. It's just you're going to be that golden soul, that, or rather like a how it was, a gentle soul that floats across the golden sky, dropping bits of happiness everywhere it goes. People are gonna love you. And finally, you can expect, if you have kind of like a you know, bad terms with somebody, let's say you fought with your husband, if you do have such, or with your family and so on and so forth, and you regret and you do really wish to mend those relationships, very possible that to happen in the next couple of weeks. Sean, how is going to affect you, the full moon? Huge wake-up call for you, Sean, that is gonna make, it's just gonna accept it that way. Huge wake-up call that is gonna throw things out of the window, literally out of the window. When I say throw things, I mean big things. It may throw out of the window your beliefs, it may throw out of the window your job, it may throw out of the window your relationship, whatever it is. And this is going to come from you, okay? That's not something that, how can I put it into words? It's not something that you have to struggle against. Just one morning you're going to wake up, you say, what the hell am I doing? Okay, what the hell am I doing? And you will undergo transformation, because usually the Tower card comes like either an exterior event that you can't fight against or an insight, but because it's a catalyst, or the catalyst is judgment, is definitely an insight. Okay, and it is just this insight is going to be where everything stops, just where everything makes sense if you make that purge, and you are gonna strive to make the purge. Sherry, how is the full moon going to affect you? Four of Cups with the King of Pentacles. And we do have the Ace of Wands. That's a very... Sherry, do you have a suitor? Someone which is chasing you about something? It doesn't have to be even about relationship. I mean, you may have someone that really wants to work with you, for example, or is asking you to participate into some kind of endeavor. Do you have something like that, Sherry? I'm just gonna wait a little bit for your response. Sherry. With Sherry. All right, Sherry is not around, I guess. Which makes it more difficult for me to interpret. So I'm gonna go completely general. Yeah, SCLH77 is Sherry. No, I haven't saw it. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes. Well, we gotta take it. Within this full moon, that's the thing. Within this full moon, another enterprise is gonna show up, which actually is gonna happen to be to your detriment. In fact, it will be more interesting, but it's going to be to your detriment. Okay, so within this full moon, it's the pivotal moment where you understand that actually this chase or whatever it is, it's a very good call. It's actually it's both. I don't know how to put it into words. It's both ways. It's it's just that person gives to you and takes away, but it doesn't take in a way that it kind of like deprives you. It's very strange, but it's worth investing in there. That is how the full moon is going to affect you. If you want any progress that is not going to jeopardize your peacefulness, that's the way you do it with this proposal or whatever it is. No, she answered. I just didn't saw it. Nina. How is the full moon going to affect you? We do have the Five of Wands with the Devil. So these two cards. This experience, it will be mixed. I mean, you're gonna have a mixed experience in the next few weeks. It's kind of like the the full moon is gonna present you with content. It's not like, you know, nothing is gonna go around. I don't know exactly what's you know, your plans are and what your goals are, for example. But if you are planning to date people, you will have many people to date with. Okay, or if you are planning to look for work, you will have many choices to pick from. Or if you plan to travel, you know, again, many destinations to choose from, and so on and so forth. So the full moon is going to have an activities for you. Now the problem here, it is that with the devil, all right, it's with the devil there, which is neutral to the Five of Wands, which means that you will find it very difficult to decide what do you want, what it is really that you want. And ultimately, what is going to boil down to, it's what is going to be the most efficient. It's not even effective. It's like, which one is going to be the most efficient move going forward here. Now, other than that, the full moon is gonna give you the chance, or a second, I will say it that way, the full moon is gonna give you second chances. Although the things you have to do in order to manifest those second chances are not going to be exactly things you are excited of doing. David, let's see how this full moon is going to affect you. Ooh, God. So we do have a Page of Pentacles with the Lovers. Then is the Ten of Swords. All right, I need to ask you something, David. Do you have a friend who either you see or they see you as more than a friend, and one of you wants more than just being a friend? Do you have such a situation there? I'll wait a little bit, David, to answer me if you are around. David, you around? I guess not. Or then, in case you do have such a situation, according to the cards, it's highly unlikely that it's going to work in between you two. That is because while now being friends, you do see a lot of devotion and value in between each other. As soon as the love really kicks in, you are going to see sides of each other that you are not going to like at all. However, if the situation is that this friend wants more than friendship and you don't want that, you have to come up clean with this person. Okay, you just have to talk with them. That's not gonna work out. Now, in the next couple of weeks. Now, if we do approach the situation entirely general, it kind of means the situation kind of shows that you are putting resources into something which isn't worth it at all, and you will understand that in the next couple of weeks. And the only logical move that you are gonna have is just sever. It's not even a withdraw. It's just one day you are fully devoted to it, the other day it is like it doesn't exist at all. I'm sorry for the message, but it's really, oh my god, I don't even remember reading for David before. Well, he will watch it later. All right, Julie, your turn. We have the Knights of Wands for you, Julie. The next couple of weeks are going to be actually quite good for you. That is because you will see, how can I put it into words? You're gonna find many interesting things to do. I will not gonna be surprised if you kind of like develop new hobby for yourself, or you meet new interesting people to go out with, for example, or in generally kind of like finding enterprising new stuff which are really maintaining your interest. Also, what is very common for the Knights of Wands, it's finding a way to solve things. Okay, finding your wherever you are feeling empty, finding a way to fill it up with something, that kind of a solution what I'm talking about. Now, the only problem with this card is that you may get yourself winded away, like you find something interesting, but you don't settle for it, and you try to find something even more interesting. And what you need to know it is that this card works in an impulse. You have the impulse to find something interesting, and as soon as you do find it, the impulse leaves you. And if you keep on searching for even more interesting things to fill up the gap there, so in other words, for a better thing, you are gonna risking to get yourself burned out. Then you are gonna lose all interest for anything, and you risking going into depression. How do you call that state where you care for nothing? Okay, it's just in such a state. So be careful of it. Other than that, it should be a great transit, or a great experience in the next couple of weeks. If you are single, give the man a chance, or the man a chance. At least go out with somebody, or with people that are asking you out at least once. Okay, at least once. All right, so let me put the cards back in and do the last three. Well, Mandalolu, yeah, that's a trend with when things are happening. And the reason why we don't understand some things which are happening is so we don't change them. These things are meant to happen, and we are not supposed to change them. And for that reason, we don't understand them, because we cannot alter something we do not understand. That's funny, we had that combo. But in relation to your question, truth be told, I don't know. I need to know more about the situation. I need to know how it ended. So yeah, I need to know how it ended. I feel bad not being able to give you an answer now. They don't want to say. They just don't want to say. So I'm going to try to explain you what is going on right now, okay? What is going on right now there is that there is a understanding, okay? It's a transformation, but a transformation through understanding what something means. I just don't want to give away too much, okay? I'm on Ginger. Just okay. So how it plays out? It is that right now it's a process where things are starting to make sense, and based on how everything ended, there will be kind of like an understanding or a processes fathoming of what happened, and based on that there will be an action taken, which is going to be a definitive action, but I need to know how it ended so I can tell you. I'm feeling so bad that I'm not able to tell you anything. So give me a moment. I need to find. Okay, hold on a second. All right. Yeah. What you did. The answer is yes to the cards, but it needs a bit of a time. It needs to sink in. All right. It needs to fathom. That is what I mean. So the answer is yes to your question. All right, next one, Tracy. How this full moon is going to affect you? Six of Wands with the Ace of Wands. Ooh, Tracy. Rewards, my girl. You are gonna have rewards coming your way. In fact, it seems that these rewards are gonna be rather quite unexpected, and they're gonna be unexpected in a way how served, and these rewards are gonna be most likely in form of opportunities, like given an opportunity to do something, given an opportunity to prove something, given an opportunity to raise, and so on and so forth. So it's almost like you earned your keep kind of thing. Okay. Other than that, should you have any plans for the next couple of weeks to start something new, like, I don't know, new business? It's not gonna be that big though. Let's say you decided to learn something new or to develop some kind of a skill. Next couple of weeks, it seems that you are gonna make a significant progress. The very least though, Tracy, what awaits you in the next couple of weeks: milestones, positive milestones. Oh, and one last thing though. If you are not single, or if you are up to it, you really have a chance to have a lot of sex next couple of weeks. All right, Pisces Moonbeam, to your second question. Let me check it out though. It's the Queen of Swords. Only if the environment allows it. So I don't give away. I kind of feel like, you know, with these anonymous questions, I kind of feel like I have to play with words, which is something I love to do. So if the environment allows it, yeah. Karen, thank you so much for another $3 for James Tippins. James Tippins, full moon is going to affect you with a temperance. Okay. Give me a second here. So with the temperance, this card shows that within the next couple of weeks, James, you will kind of like handle things which under normal circumstances you do not handle very well. This time around, you're going to learn how to handle them with ease. Which is going to give you much bigger edge, or much better edge, so to speak, handling chores, repetitive tasks, for example, as well. It's kind of like things you do not... You're welcome, Tracy. Truly things which under normal circumstances, they are kind of like you do not just only find annoying, it's like a grind, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I gotta do that thing today again. It's a goddamn grind, all right? But with the temperance, it's you will kind of like find a way how to make it more like a game and a pleasant experience, and it's not going to feel like a grind anymore. In a bigger picture, however, next couple of weeks you will face more compassion and solidarity from the people around you, and as well certain people which are in opposition to you, they will learn to respect your opinion. They may not grow to like it, but they will learn to respect it. What do you mean funny? What's so funny? I'm just waiting to know what's so funny before I wrap this thing around the live stream, because it's kind of like 20 to 7 a.m. that is. Oh my God, these people. How do you even make a mouth in a... in YouTube chat. Oh. Yeah, I like to play with words. It's going to be for all of us. We have, Nina, we do have a lot to think about, all of us. And especially we have a lot to think about why we are in, let's say, disadvantageous situation. All right, guys, this is gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for being around, and thank you so much as well for your generosity tonight. And we're gonna see each other very, very soon. Next week, Wednesday or maybe Thursday, where I'm gonna see how I'm feeling like it. For the immediate guidance, which is something I love to do. And until then, I love you all. Bye.